This is a prologue, a Greek word meaning an introduction, a beginning. In this case, to our 2020 Glendi. Another Greek word meaning let's get together and party. They say every cloud has a silver lining, and for me it happened whilst I was editing this amazing celebration of food, music and dance. A few weeks later, we had this shock of all shocks with this great viral shutdown. No more dancing, singing, eating in the streets. Nowhere, anywhere. In fact, we had to stay inside, away from everybody, in our little boxes. My little box was the edit suite. In fact, it's full of boxes, all sorts of boxes. And it's the video archive, going back some 30 years or more. And of course, I began to hear voices. As I was editing away, I began to hear voices trapped inside these boxes. They wanted to be heard, not forgotten. What were they saying? Ella, Ella. Let's korepsime. Ella, Ella, korepsime. Come, let us dance. Let's enjoy our Greek roots. Let's reconnect. Let's not forget where we came from. This fight against the worldwide pandemic is teaching us so much of ourselves, but most of all, the power of our humanity, our belonging, our giving. We belong to our history, our culture, our geography, our new country, and of course, we belong to our city, Canberra.
Coming up, the Greek gifts to Canberra, along with some of the city's hidden histories. The Greek community is an important, if understated, contributor to the Canberra story.
To look at those special occasions again that I was honoured to film, to capture so many of those special people, special moments, which still resonate today.
Greek families came to Canberra bearing many gifts, the most significant being their prodigious work ethic. They started simple fish shops and milk bars in the 1920s and 30s, and now they're helping shape the city through multi-million-dollar developments.
All the milk bars were family concern, and the children were practically brought up in these coffee lounges, so that it has that history, that going, and the children appreciate it, no matter how young they were, how hard the parents worked.
But they were good years too. A lot of the old guys that had those are still around, and they still talk about that.
There must have been a real family determination and work ethic to make those early businesses a success.
Yes. They had to be resilient and they had to be able to survive. So opening your own business would have been fairly risky, but at the same time the determination of the family working together as a group made it successful.
Joy MacDonald has used art and puppetry to share her own Greek family odyssey, which has a Canberra connection. Who have we got here, Joy?
This is my grandmother. She represents the women at the time who were left behind by their husbands who were fishermen, hence the name Fish Lady.
Good morning,
and calling somewhere home.
Your grandma eventually called Australia home a few years later.
Yes, she did. She came to Australia.
How important were those old milk bars in the social life?
They were, I mean, especially for the Greeks, and not just, but all the people around there. They would have been huge. You know, somewhere to get together and have a chat, and you know, they would discuss all kinds of things, business, politics, and it was, like I said, I mean, the clubs nowadays are here for that side of it. They weren't around back then, so I suppose it was a mini Hellenic club, if you like.
Nowadays, second-generation Greek-Australian developers like John Efkapidis are behind some of Canberra's most significant projects. And in some ways, is your family like the new Acton developments and things like that? They're creating modern versions of that in some way.
Absolutely. I mean, what my cousins are doing there is tremendous. You know, a lot of vision, a lot of art there. The buildings are fantastic. You know, trying to use, you know, or try to keep the buildings as sustainable as possible. So yeah, no, I reckon they're great.
A long way from fish and chips.
Absolutely, yeah.
Michael Kazan's first job was at one of those old cafes. He arrived in Canberra from Greece in 1970. Now he shares Greek history and language through the Hellenic Club.
A lot of people say, oh, what is going to happen to fourth, fifth generation of people of Greek background? Well, yes, they may not be able to speak the language fluently, but deep down in themselves, in their character, in the way they do things, is going to be influenced by the Greek background.
Today the Greek embassy is throwing a National Day celebration, but it takes the guise of a gallery, of a showing of Greek women through time. Basically a comparison between ancient and modern Greeks, very beautiful. I'm dressed as an Evzona, and there are other people dressed as Cretans, and essentially what we're doing is we're just here for decoration, you know, to show it's all of Greece through all the ages.
Look at the bed. Look.
Very hard work. We raise a lot of money.
Okay, girls. All right, baby. No problem. Yeah, darling? What we got here, the young matrons and the Greek ambassadors that she loves the young matrons. They're my best friends. They came to help me with their heart, their passion, because they are one of the best.
Has donated a large amount of money to the Canberra Hospital Foundation in order to help kids with diseases and sick. So now you can see there's a lot of noise. So everyone, as I said, everyone's here, they've paid their money, and now they're enjoying a night. I've done 5 of these. And we've all raised like a lot of money. I can't remember the exact amount, but all I know is a lot. And it's all being sent to a good place.
And Canberra's Greek community steps in to help the bushfire victims. Spirit and the compassion of the Greek community shone through overnight as more than 600 guests gathered at the Hellenic Club to raise money for the bushfire recovery. The Governor-General was there as guests raised a massive $260,000. Items auctioned during the evening included a limited edition series of car registration plates specially produced for the ACT Bushfire Recovery Appeal. It was quite a night.
This is Win News.
The fun continued at the Hellenic Club's Christmas party, and Santa even made an appearance. There was plenty of action to keep the crowd happy, with an antique fire engine on display.
Where we stand now and where we were 25 years ago. was a hole in this ground 25 years ago. And now we have one of the most beautiful looking and more successful clubs in Canberra. And that's a credit to all of us, all those who worked, all those who supported it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you please to acknowledge the wonderful directors who've given so much service to the club. And the Greek gods smile on the Euro Cup. Euphoria spills onto Canberra streets.
Win News with Peter Leonard.
Good evening. Well, not too many people would be unaware that Greece has pulled off one of the most remarkable and memorable sporting fairy tales yet. 101 outsiders before the tournament began, the Greek national soccer team early this morning took out the European Championship. And in Canberra, almost 3,000 local Greeks and their friends willed them home.
On their feet and on top of the world. Celebrating the moment that changed Greek sporting history.
The semi-final, they've got a goal here. The heading power of Haristeas.
Written off at the start of the tournament, Greece defied international superpowers and at long odds claimed its first ever title, sparking wild celebrations worldwide, and thousands of kilometres away in Canberra, the feeling was just as strong. 2,500 watched the early morning match at the Hellenic Club. No one here was going back to sleep.
We're the best! We're the best in the world!
Monica woke to a flood of blue and white, their joy and excitement carrying onto the streets.
I'm Peter Leonard, as ever, from the Win News team in Canberra. Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation on Australia's largest regional television network.
Greeks around Australia and all over the world are still celebrating their country's crowning as the European soccer champions. The 1-0 defeat of host nation Portugal prompted wild celebrations. In Canberra, the party continued well into the day.
European champions! We did it! We did it! Now the Olympics, we're going to kill everyone! We're the best!
And those scenes were repeated on a grander scale around the country.
Wins the Euro Cup, first time in history.
There are thousands in the early hours of the morning, full of Greek spirit, and not just ouzo. They scrambled for vantage points, and not long into the second half, they got what they came for. The goal reverberated from Lisbon to Lonsdale Street. The celebrations were only tempered by the prospect of a Portuguese equaliser, but then came the ultimate signal to party.
It's over! It is over! Greece are the champions of Europe, the ultimate outsiders.
In Sydney, the street party wasn't as big, but the fans were just as loud. For the 150-1 outsiders at the start of the tournament, winning Euro was a remarkable result. Never has the Greek national team scaled such heights. The celebrations combined the Greeks' love for soccer with their love for cars. Vehicles were also a springboard for partying in Brisbane. Inside the Greek club, the cheering only stopped for the national anthem. From the thrill of victory, the Portuguese were trying to hide the tears of defeat. But it was one big, fat Greek celebration. And the partying is set to continue with the Athens Olympics just 6 weeks away. Guy Stainer, ABC News.
And that's the news to this minute. The 7:30 report is next, and I'll be back with the news update at 8:30. We'll leave you with an exhibition at the ACT Assembly celebrating the contribution of Greek Australian women over the last 200 years. From me, good night.
And the local Greek community celebrates the Olympic spirit. Greek Canberrans are helping celebrate the Olympic Games in Athens by holding their own festival, and young dancers are paying tribute to the spirit that infuses the Games.
Greece is the word, and never more so, 3 weeks out from the Athens Games. Part of Canberra's Ornera Festival, our own Greek community, celebrating the spirit that drives the Games through song and dance, reminding everyone the Olympics are in good hands. This routine has been practiced for months, exhausting its young stars.
Pretty intense, a lot of practice, a lot of effort put into it, but I think it paid off.
The atmosphere was good, very good audience. It was a fascinating process to work with a group of kids that age who had never done contemporary dance before.
More Olympic celebrations will continue until the 8th of August. Peter Stefanovic, Win News.
I mean, you can see what's happening. This is the fourth generation of the Greeks, and you can see they feel it in their eyes, in their soul. So I'm a proud dad, and I'm proud to be Greek. Thank you, Manuel.
How did you feel when you saw your son tonight?
Well, gee, it brought tears to my eyes, I have to say. I don't think I am as Greek as what my son is, because he's doing it with his heart, not because he has to. Although the last couple of days he's been very, very intense. He says, "Oh, Dad, I've got to go for another practice." But although it was hard, but he could see that he wanted. I mean, look at him now. He's a big smile, and what more can a father can ask? Seeing his son dancing as a true Greek. Thank you.
I'm Peter Leonard from the Win News team in Canberra. Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation from Australia's largest regional television network.
The proud parents. They all did very well, very well.
Hundreds of Orthodox Christians have celebrated their Easter in Canberra with a service at the Church of St Nicholas in Kingston.
To go back into the last 30 years of Canberra's Greek history.
It was a more sombre mood on Anzac Parade for the anniversary of the Battle of Crete.
It's a remembrance of all the Greek Australians, past and present, who made Canberra home. And in a strange way, was a guide for the future. These incredible people passed on so much to everyone they met.
The Hellenic Club celebrated its 20th
From the
birthday
different
overnight
community
and
members,
paid tribute to its
dance
original
teachers,
foundation members.
pupils, club members, from one year to the next. They passed on their best to their children and their children. Although I concentrate on a few of the movers and shakers, there are so many more who move and shake more quietly. Unfortunately, I couldn't capture them all. But this video is a salute to all of them, and a request that you all follow their example and get involved. Join a community group. Learn Greek dancing. Learn Greek language. Make donations. Sponsor something. Give of yourselves freely as they did and kept doing year after year. This way we'll have something special to pass on that's so much bigger than ourselves. I want to stay connected. I want to belong. I appreciate. I want to spread the word through this prologue, this video. I'm very proud in the work that we've done, the work that we've all done in building a better Greek community. And I think video's helped. Here we've got more boxes, the new latest technique in editing, smaller boxes, and we've got DVDs, and we've got hard drives, small hard drives as well as the bigger hard drives, full of me running around filming people, capturing people, because video is a very powerful tool, and it's been a great experience for me to re-engage once again in filming people. And I must say, thanks everybody for putting up with me, but I'm very grateful. And then when you put together with a storyline and music, you've got this beautiful, powerful video story. Whether it's the Greek history book, the Greek, opera, it just goes on and on and on and on. And I'd like to thank all the musicians like Costa and others. They're just the music adds so much more to the storyline and really touches the soul.
I love Canberra because they have multicultural festivals. I mean, not everybody in the world has multicultural festivals. So Australia is good like that. Layla, what do you like about Canberra?
It's just an amazing place, and there's so much great things going on around here, and yeah, it's just great fun.
You see many faces, long past, who've contributed so much. They're standing tall, and they're sharing their dream, and working together, and engaging with the world around them, and getting out of our boxes. 2 metres apart, but getting out and doing and sharing, and in a way they're challenging us to find our own way, to find our own magic, to touch every person that we can touch, and they in turn will touch others. And whether it be through the magic of dance, of music, of words, or whether you paint, or whether you stitch, stitch, or in the garden. Make time to share your magic with everyone. Brother, sister, cousin, friend or stranger. After all, we're all from the same mother. Ella, I love this. Repsame. Beautiful. Enjoy the video. Enjoy all the videos. All of them, All of them. All of them. Thank you, Mr. Theophilus, and all the Greeks of Canberra, Costa, everybody. ShopRite. I really am grateful. It's been an experience. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm proud to be Greek, Australian, Canberran human being. Hella. I love this guy.